Hello everyone and welcome to your immediate post-match reaction to Rangers 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. I'm joined by Tommy McIntyre, as I have been the whole evening tonight at Ibrox, and safe to say, Tommy, it was a really enjoyable game tonight, and it was very much a Rangers team I can get behind.
Yeah, listen, maybe Philippe Clement has just been a month or two off in his assessment of seeing the best. That is a fantastic performance tonight. I thought we were front foot. We'll get into it, but yeah, I can definitely get behind that Rangers side.
Yeah, it was a really interesting starting lineup that came out about an hour before kick-off. Not one that anyone, I think, would have predicted, and my immediate reaction was that we're making the changes so that Sunday is our strongest possible team. There was things that we haven't really seen too much of before, like Ridvan being high up on the left side. I thought it was a really interesting team lineup, especially when we know we're coming up against a Spurs team who, albeit are up and down, I think it's fair to say, in the English Premier League, but still a really top quality side and plenty of quality players in there as well. But what did you make of the lineup when you first saw it?
Yeah, just go back to that. Spurs, yeah, they made changes, etc., but you turn to their bench later on in the match and you've got guys like 65 million Solanke, Kulusevski and stuff like that. It's pretty solid bench there. Yeah, I think you're right. I think everybody was looking at that. Okay, Igamani's going to be the central pivot up front as well. Dessers dropped to the bench. The Ridvan Yefte axis, if you like, and how that was going to work. I think Hefty was obviously playing further forward, but Ridvan's ball carrying I thought was fantastic during the game. Yeah, there was a couple of things. Diomande in there, no Barron starting, obviously, he was on the bench as well. So it was an interesting lineup, and I think you're right. Everybody's looking at going, tonight's an interesting one, it's a big one, you want to perform well, but everybody's got eyes to Sunday. But happy to talk about tonight because we were really, really good.
Yeah, we absolutely were really good. I thought we were fantastic tonight, and there's so many standout performances that everyone to a man pretty much was up at a really, really high level of performance, and it really showed. And probably, I think, safe to say that it's the most drilled and well coached that we've looked since Philippe Clement's come in.
Yeah, you were saying that actually during the game, that certainly at the back as well, we looked really solid. Actually, I think you're right. Entire team looked really, really solid, really well drilled, covering the space, not giving a lot, of gimmies to Spurs. Although some of our passing was a wee bit lax towards the end and stuff. But he took a moment right at the kick-off because I think Spurs broke straight away. Really nice, crisp, fast passing, and they had lots of space on the far side actually, and they just didn't make anything. You thought, it might be a long night. But after that, we absolutely bedded in and we started to control large parts of the ball as well. Yeah, absolutely the best that I've seen us drilled as a compact unit, both at the backhands, exploding forward and dominating the second balls, winning at a high press that we've seen. Yeah, I think you're right, under Philippe Clement. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, there was plenty to enjoy in that performance from Rangers tonight, and that the first half especially, as you said, Spurs started really quickly, and to be honest, that was the type of Spurs I expected for the full game. Yep. We've played against Ange Postecoglou teams before. We've seen them be high intensity. They've seen them move the ball quickly. We've seen them run relentlessly, and that was nowhere near what we really saw tonight.
No, you're right. We've seen his Celtic side expecting a certain level of performance. Some people will say that's the changes he's made, yada yada, whatever. But I think Rangers really dominated the middle to front element to a large extent. And yeah, Spurs are always going to be dangerous. They've got players that can come off the bench, etc. But you're absolutely right. I thought we pushed them into spaces they didn't naturally want to get to. They were allowed to knock it about until they became a bit dangerous, and then we stepped in. I mean, shout outs to the way that we were reading the game, Nico Raskin in particular, getting in amongst them, getting right next to them, forcing them to make mistakes, reading the balls, cutting out passes in the midfield. Absolute shift from Nico Raskin, who's become the player we all hoped he was going to be. So yeah, I thought we nullified a lot of it. Whether they've got it in the locker remains to be seen, but certainly there wasn't the penetration, the dynamic forward play, the explosive forward play that you would expect from a Postecoglou team. But some of that's down to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we did, as I've said, and I will continue to say throughout this podcast, I thought we did loads of really good stuff tonight. Where do you think the real successes were in that game from our side, and where do you think we really, I guess, took control of large parts of that game in terms of how we set up and how we played?
I thought you did well there to keep the anger out your voice that I've just spoken about, all the cutting out the ball stuff, just re-asking the question. Right, I'll stick to the script. Well, I think, yeah, exactly that, though. I thought we were pretty solid, even after we lost John Souttar. Really, really important moment, and it didn't look too bad. It was more of a precautionary thing, I think. But I thought we controlled spaces really well. I thought that midfield was absolutely fantastic, actually. And then you're looking at guys who I thought, certainly in the first half, Václav Černý was giving them a real torrid time. Igamani, his space and his ability in tight spaces with a defender right at his back to control it, even when the ball's coming up high, is absolutely fantastic. And I think those are the things that we did well. We spoke about this in during the game as well. Up top, we weren't rushing it. We were happy to play it about, be incisive, not, just taking the first pass that came on. And I think Spurs were unsettled by the way we were playing up top and the way that the forward line was moving.
Yeah, I thought we were really patient on the ball, particularly in the final third. That's been a place or a position in the park where I think we've panicked at times as we've gone through the season so far. We've rushed things. We've tried to be too cute at times, and we've not taken on the shot when the shot's there. And I thought actually our decision making in the final third tonight was so good, and I think it just gives a flavour of what this team can do, I think, as we go forward. But the one that really impressed me, and I guess when we were looking at the starting lineup, you're thinking, is Igaman going to start or is Cyril Dessers going to start? I probably sided with, I thought he would go with Cyril Dessers, but just for the experience side of things. But he went with Hamza Igaman, and what a good decision that was. Can you just give us your thoughts on Hamza Igaman's performance tonight overall?
I thought he was great. Up there, yeah, it's a kind of relatively untested centre-back pairing for Spurs, right? But I'm with you. I think the majority of people, not for performance-wise, but would have fallen on the Cyril Dessers to start Igamani off the bench or whatever. But I thought he ran the lines really, really well. He holds the ball up sensationally, actually, as I just said, with defenders on his back. His touch is great in tight areas too. Great kind of couple of passes at the start as well, where he was spraying it out to Černý and stuff like that. Takes his goal incredibly well, and it's a fantastic finish. So yeah, I thought he was absolutely great. Tired quite a lot towards the end. It was really noticeable. Get him in the cryo chamber, lock him away, feed him whatever he wants, get him ready for Sunday. But yeah, I thought he was, he staked his claim for Sunday.
I think he's already staked a very solid claim even before tonight for Sunday. But yes, I think Hamza Igaman's performance was so impressive. The way he holds up the ball, the way he actually invites the pressure around him, and he wants that physicality, and he protects the ball, and he just looks like a player that plays with no care in the world, and he's got the freedom of whatever he wants to do, and he's quite happy to try it all, even the wee mini keepy up at the after one.
Everybody was loving that actually. Why not? I'm with you though. And just to get back to it though, the quality of the finish. Yeah. And let's not miss out.
Let's talk about that goal then. So the start of second half, we're praising how well we've played in the first half, but you're then saying, right, we have to carry that on into the second half. We have to make sure that we don't let up, that we keep it going, and we've got felt like we've got a real chance in this game. And it wasn't long into the side half, just a couple of minutes. James Tavernier down the right hand side with an absolutely delightful ball, curling into the box. I think he just misses the first player. I can't remember who it was, if it was Černý or not, but he just misses the first player, bounces through to Hamza Igaman, and it's the coolest, calmest, most composed finish that you've ever seen in Ibrox. Absolutely erupted, but it was a fantastic goal all round.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic synopsis of it actually, and I think it is Černý, and it kind of goes in front of him. I don't think he's able to make any sort of attempt for it anyway. Fantastic ball, and again, James Tavernier coming in. You don't get that from Sterling, probably playing it right back or whatever for Sunday. Different conversation, but amazing. And like you say, he doesn't even take a touch. He just knocks it right across Fraser Forster into the far corner. It's a fantastic finish, and that's just confidence. That speaks to your abilities. Don't get any fear. He's happy to take it on, and then boom, the roof. I think parts of the roof are still coming back down.
I think they might well be, to be fair. After that, I thought we would maybe settle into our shape and invite Spurs onto us a little bit. We didn't at all. I turned to you at one point and said, I feel like we're being too brave here and going for the second goal. But we kept going. We kept going, which was impressive. We've seen many times this season that we can score one goal and then we just sit back and try. It feels like we're trying to settle for that, but that wasn't the case at all tonight. And we kept going. We kept pushing. I felt like the players started tired a little bit around the 60-minute mark, and we had sort of, I guess, between 60 and 75 minutes, maybe 60 and 80 minutes, we kind of pulled back a wee bit and did settle into our shape, and Spurs came more into the game. Spurs equaliser, I think that was just down to their quality, really. They picked us off around the halfway line, played through us. I think it would have been a penalty to Spurs.
Just maybe.
I think it would have been a penalty Spurs had they not scored, but it was that man Kulusevski who came on at half time. You're talking about the quality that Spurs have on the bench, and that he's absolutely symptomatic of that, and it felt like it was just a quality goal from their side.
Yeah, I broadly agree with you. I mean, I think between Sarr, Kulusevski and Solanke had all come on at various points. I mean, just with Solanke and Kulusevski, I think that's over 100 million. Yeah. So it's not a bad bench to turn to. And the only thing I'd say, though, I think it is good play, but Ridvan tries to read it early, and he steps really far forward, and he doesn't get there, and it allows the ball to go in, and then it kind of ends up with it would have been naturally a penalty, and it comes to Kulusevski I think he's about 10 yards out or something. He just kind of strokes it past Butland. On balance, maybe they deserved it. They'd certainly come back into the game. You'd expect that for the quality of the bench that we're speaking about. They were always going to get chances, and we did tire, particularly in the midfield, I thought. But yeah, a good player, Kulusevski, a good goal. Yeah, fair enough, a draw.
Yeah, and I felt like a draw was the minimum we deserved tonight from 100%. That performance. But the last 10 minutes, we were really pushing for that winning goal. Cyril Dessers came on and he was caught offside about 4 or 5 times, as you expect from Cyril Dessers, but he had fantastic chance. He does so well. He physically beats off the defender, and then he runs through and goal, takes on not one but two, and you're thinking just shoot. He shoots, and Fraser Foster just gets, I think it hits Fraser Foster on the side at the end, but he manages to go behind for a corner. Everyone in the stadium thought it was in. Cyril Dessers couldn't believe it wasn't a goal, and I felt like we actually probably deserved that to go in.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I thought we'd done enough to get it. I think that was the 85th minute, just coming up to the 85th minute or something. And as you say, self-made. He takes it really well, goes by the first one, you think, right, he's going to lash it. Goes by the second one inside the box, he's created the space, and then, yeah, it's not a night to be down on Cyril Dessers. It's a good save. He's done everything right that he possibly can do. Not going to nitpick with it. He's unfortunate, and yeah, we probably did deserve it. The rest of it would have came off, but ultimately, yeah, good save.
Yeah, I think so. Ended up Rangers 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. This was a game a lot of people were worried about. It was a game a lot of people, I think, came into tonight thinking, please don't get absolutely smashed by a big scoreline as we head into the League Cup final on Sunday. But it was absolutely a performance that we can be proud of. We can be proud of that team, and it's one that gives a lot of hope and promise as we go forward, because we now know what this team is capable of. A lot of people would say that wasn't even our best starting 11 that went out there and did that, so it shows what this team is capable of, and it's really encouraging. Tommy, just final one before we round off the podcast. I'm asking for a man of the match for tonight.
Ooh, that's a good one. Hard not to give it to Gamani, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go for Nico Raskin.
Yeah, I think it's between the two. I'll go for Hamza Igaman just for that finish and the quality his hold-up play, but I think it's a really tight one between Igaman and Raskin. But yes, we'll round it off there from a cold and chilly Ibrox. Tommy's got the leather gloves on. He told me what brand it was, but I have no idea. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening. An enjoyable night watching Rangers play. I think we did deserve the 3 points in the end, but it is a point apiece here at Ibrox. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Until next time, goodbye.